You generally impulse buy things like an 85-inch TV, a PlayStation, a $1.50 hot dog from Costco, but a 1,000 horsepower iPad on wheels, that's a different story. This car was absolutely an impulse purchase because with this amount of horsepower, how could I possibly resist? I've owned my 2021 Tesla Model S Plaid for about a year, and today I'm going to be answering questions like, has it been worth it to buy this car? How much have I spent maintaining and owning the car over the last year? And most importantly, am I worried about somebody burning my Tesla down to the ground? It seems to be a thing these days. You might look at a 1,000 horsepower machine and think that it's really expensive. And when the Plaid first came out, it was mid six figures, $150,000. 4 years later, look at the pricing now. You can get one of these for under $45,000. And it's not even used Plaids that are that cheap. Look at the pricing of new Teslas. Tesla's pricing strategy is now like the clearance rack at TJ Maxx. Bargain basement pricing for Teslas all around. Incredible price drops means an incredible 1,000 horsepower car for 45 grand. Right after I bought the Plaid, I had to take it to the dealer because I knowingly bought it with a big flaw. Half of the steering wheel cover was missing, but this was an easy fix. A service appointment booked through the app. It couldn't be any easier. This got taken care of, and then I moved on to the next big thing. Tires on the Plaid wear out quicker than a New Year's resolution. January 1st, the gym is packed. January 3rd, everybody gone. $1,300 to replace both rear tires with a 1,000 horsepower machine. Good rubber is essential. At some point, I have to get the seats repaired because the previous owner of this car had a dog and tore up the back seats. I should have asked for a bigger dog discount back when I bought this car. Missed opportunity. What you have to get used to with the Tesla is the horrible garbage build quality. It's gotten a lot better these days, but even as of a few years ago, things were just in awful shape. On the Plaid, there's so many flaws. The car feels like it was put together by a bunch of interns. Can you imagine living with all of that if you bought this car for $150K? For $45K, it's much easier to look past it all. The good news is the newest Teslas have come a long way and they're very close to getting it right. Because electric cars are whisper quiet, interior quality becomes that much more important. Besides the voices in your head making you question your life choices, you'll hear every squeak, rattle, noise. You're painfully aware of all of it. It's like somebody chewing popcorn in a theater. You can hear every single crunch. In electric cars, these noises are impossible to ignore. Luckily, I only have 26,000 miles on my Plaid, so things aren't quite that bad, but I guarantee you things will get worse as the miles add on. Sitting in this car is kind of a strange feeling. It's big, roomy, comfortable. It's kind of like being on the sofa in your house. You can Netflix and chill, sit back, enjoy the panoramic roof. In fact, you don't get any indication that this thing can get you from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. It's such a weird thing to know that a plush recliner like this can launch you like a jet fighter. But I'm not complaining. Insane speed and comfort in the same package. And there's so much storage. You got huge compartments in the front, in the center console, and that's not even including the huge trunk in the front. You don't need an overnight bag. Just take all of your clothes and shove it in here. Trust me, there's enough room. If you need to fit your whole house in here, you can. Look at all this room. Did your loved one kick you out of the house? Not a problem. Watch some Netflix in this car and then go to bed. If you didn't want to drive this around, just hire a chauffeur and get driven around because you have so much room in the back. It's comfortable. This could be your limo as well. And you get to watch Netflix back here also. The nice thing about owning this car is no oil changes, no fluid changes, really no maintenance other than just tires. Every night I just plug this thing up to charge it, but there are times where I've used the supercharger. Over the last year, I've spent $660 in supercharging fees, mainly because the car sits at the airport sometimes or in storage. But if you can plug this in every night at home, then you can avoid the supercharging costs. And in the app, you can see the gas charges that would have racked up if this was not an electric car. There can be a lot of variation in supercharging costs. It really depends on your situation. There's so many Tesla superchargers around and they keep increasing. Charging this car is not a problem and the speeds are only getting quicker. Other than supercharging, I did spend about $100 on wipers and an air filter, which I easily purchased through the app. The app just makes everything very convenient. I have a full factory warranty on this car for about another year, and I've already used the warranty to fix the steering wheel. And if I wanted to extend it, I could. 2 years, 25,000 miles, only $3,100. Really a good deal, which I would highly recommend. And if I keep this car for long enough, I probably would end up getting it. One thing that's gone downhill though is the quality of Tesla service. It used to be much better back when I got the yoke replaced, but these days requesting appointments is so far out. If I have an emergency, I'm not sure if anybody would be there to help me out. It's not a surprise because Tesla has been firing so many people and cutting costs that service is getting negatively impacted. So far it's been okay, but let's just hope things don't get too much worse. They do have mobile service, which is nice because they've come out to my house a couple of times to check out a noise in the window when it gets rolled down, possibly a regulator issue, so they're gonna get that resolved in the near future. But overall, I'm happy with the ownership of the car. Pretty hassle-free, nothing much to worry about. Now, let's talk about a road rage incident that happened to me recently in this Tesla. I was driving home at night and I pull up behind this guy at the stop sign. I had been following him for a while, and at the stop sign, this guy jumps out of his car. He starts yelling and waving his fists. I'm in my car. I have no idea what's going on. It's not like I was following him that closely. I really had no idea what his problem was. It was pitch black outside. He was waving his fist, probably flipping me off. I don't know what he was doing. I couldn't even hear what he was saying. And then I realized I had my high beams on. I had no clue that I had turned on the high beams, but apparently it was enough to send him into a fury of rage. I'm just glad he didn't come after me with a gun because, you know, I live in Texas. Road rage is usually accompanied by a gun, but luckily after he vented and spit out his thoughts, he got back in his car and took off. That's really the first time that I've encountered anything like that, and I think part of the reason was because he was a Tesla hater. It seems like so many people hate Teslas these days. Could have been worse. He could have lit my car on fire. This car accelerates like it's trying to escape its own shadow. It's brain melting, face melting, and I can't even believe this is legal on public roads. And there's so much grip. All that technology and the tires do a great job of making sure you don't get into trouble in this piece of metal with all these batteries weighing 5,000 pounds. Tesla has made it far too easy to have so much fun with this. You get a dumb grin on your face every time you mash the pedal like this. Oh! You feel like you're losing control, but don't worry, Tesla will take care of you. All of these computers, the all-wheel drive, the grip, anybody can get in and enjoy this amount of power, but don't fool yourself. 1,000 horsepower, you could still crash this thing. You still have to be careful because that much horsepower and that much torque is insane on just a regular consumer car. The way this thing gets up to speed in this thing is truly violent. Your head will hit the headrest every time you stomp on the pedal. With the Plaid, it's best to set aside a sizable budget just for tires. And to think you could have all this for $45,000. If you're wondering how much insurance is on this car, I have State Farm. And with the multi-car discount, it's $2,600 a year, which is a high amount, but it's nothing too crazy considering what you're driving. You could probably get insurance on this car for cheaper through somebody like Geico. but just expect to pay more because this is a true speed demon. One of the things that I really appreciate about this car is all of the technology. Check out this video where I talk about it all. One of the most convenient features in this is that the suspension lifts by itself. When I get into the driveway of my house, I always have to use it, and it does it automatically because of that feature. There's so many things like that that are extremely useful. This is the most technologically advanced car in the world, and it's got full self-driving. The full self-driving in this is actually pretty fantastic. You can use it in traffic or highways, or if you just want to sit back and relax, just push in the button, let the car do its thing. Check out this video that I made about this car's full self-driving capabilities. It's actually pretty amazing. It's easy to get used to the technology, but then you take a second to think about what this car is doing, and no other car comes even close to being able to match what a Tesla can do. Elon Musk says that we're not that far away from having autonomous Tesla. I believe that when I use full self-driving. It's something that keeps improving day after day. And it's so useful in bumper-to-bumper traffic or on freeways. Just push this button in and then just relax. The other feature that I love is Sentry Mode, especially if the car's sitting out there in the parking lot or unattended for a long time. Like in an airport, all the video clips are captured and you have evidence. If anybody wants to throw a Molotov cocktail and blow up my Tesla, they're gonna be on video. There's also dumb features like the farting noises, gives everybody a chuckle. And a bunch of games to entertain yourself when you're charging your car. This is a rolling computer, so anything you can do on your computer, you can pretty much do in this car. The biggest thing I don't like about this car is the yoke and all the buttons on the yoke. I've talked about it in other videos. It's really a pain to deal with it. If I want to twist the steering wheel with one hand, it's so easy to do that. With the yoke, it's impossible. Forget about trying to steer the yoke with just the palm of your hand. It looks like Tesla did hear the complaints because in the newest models, they do offer the option of a regular steering wheel and an upcharge for the yoke, although don't pay extra money for the yoke, it's totally not worth it. Other than that, I've been pretty happy with the car. It really is difficult to complain about a car generating 1,000 horsepower. Now, if it was only 950, well, lots more complaints. This car has an ungodly amount of power with an ungodly amount of technology. It truly is one of a kind. Where else could you get 1,000 horsepower for under 45,000? Impossible today. And once you get a taste of that 1,000 horsepower, you'll be hooked. Trust me, this is like a drug. Never gets old.